Right, let's talk some Christmas veg. Now, some of the traditional Christmas veggies just might not suit you. They might be a bit too rough, a bit too dry. I've got a great sauce that goes with them though. What I'm going to be making is a cashew cream. Now, cashew cream's a real staple. It is so easy to make. All it is, cashew nuts, soaked in water with some lemon juice in a blender, done. It's a great sauce for going over anything. It can be a pasta sauce, it can go over meat, you can flavour it in all different sorts of ways. What I'm making today though is a maple spiced cashew cream. Maple spiced pumpkin cashew cream in fact. So we'll get some veg in there as well. And we can put this with other vegetables, or I'm actually going to use this over those little mushroom and lentil Wellingtons that I made. So it'll be a really nice colour, a great contrast, and it'll add moisture into the meal as well. So what I've got here, I've got a bit of, I think it's butternut pumpkin cut up, diced up. I'm going to make up a mixture of just a bit of olive oil, and I've also got some maple syrup, very Christmassy maple syrup, bit of that into there. And I've got a spice mix. Now, a number of spice mixes you can make for this. I'm actually bought one from a shop that's called Gewürz's House, and we've got this at our local shopping centre. You can order it online though. I'm using the Christmas cake and pudding spice because it's the one that I have. One that would be really nice with it would be their pumpkin pie spice because it's a bit sweeter, and I may want to add in a bit more nutmeg into this one afterwards. We'll see how it tastes. So it's just a case of popping some of that mixture into here. This is the maple syrup and olive oil. In there it goes. Oh, I still have my little shelf here, excellent. And I'm going to sprinkle in, I should have done this with a spoon, but never mind. Look, you can always add a bit more after if you just don't think that there's enough in here. And I really should have brought a spoon for this part, but I didn't, so I'm just going to use my hand. So we're going to have it onto a baking tray here. There we go, just make sure you coat everything. So I'm trying to use one hand because I don't want to get the other hand dirty. I probably could have done with a larger bowl. There we go, that's coating up, and just a bit of a smell. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. And this will caramelise a bit in the oven as well, so you'll get a few nice bits and pieces in there, slightly different tasting when it caramelises. I'm going to make this up with the cashew cream in the blender after this is cooked. So this will go into the oven for about 20 minutes on 200, and we'll be back when that's done. In here I have 100 grams of cashews. These have been soaking in hot water. There's about 100 mils, 150 mils in there. They just go into the blender. I like to use quite a high-speed blender for this one because you do want it really smooth and creamy. And into that we'll also add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Just like that, and a pinch of salt, and that is your basic cashew cream. Now this pumpkin's out of the oven, it's cooled down so I can touch it. What I did with it was I roasted it in maple syrup, olive oil, and I also sprinkled on a spice blend from Gewürz's House. Now I think it had cinnamon in it, coriander, some cloves. It was, I think it was their Christmas pudding one. You can use the pumpkin pie spice one as well, or you can just look it up and make it from scratch. It doesn't really matter. Or you could just grate over nutmeg, that would be fine too. So into the blender, I'm hoping not to make a mess. Keep having to change my tabletop here because I do make a mess quite often. There we go. Oh, that's very sticky. I think we got away with that. On with the lid. And I'm going to use my noisiest blender out. Just give it a shake so it all goes down the bottom. On there. Button. And blend away. It's looking good. Just give that bit of a shake. It will probably need a bit more water in it, a bit more moisture. Yeah, it's quite thick. So we can always add that at the end as well after it's poured out, and then you can get the correct consistency. The important thing here is just to get it really creamy. So we'll pop that back on again on high. Right, I think that's enough. Now it's quite thick, so we'll get that down to the bottom first. Let's see if I can get this off. And beautiful. Look at that gorgeous colour in there. Now, as I say, that's really quite thick. So I will be adding water with that at some stage. And the smell is divine, that maple syrup smell and that lovely Christmas spice. Gorgeous. There we go. So that's the pumpkin maple spiced cashew cream. There we go. And we'll get that onto those Wellingtons now.